Welcome to TechBrothersIT. In this video, we are going to learn about cost management for serverless SQL pool in Azure Synapse Analytics. So you know that you will be charged around $5 per terabyte data processed. To check your data process for daily or weekly or monthly, you can run this system view. So sys.dm external data processed. And it will show you two columns. One is the type and then is other data process in MBs. So here you have seen for daily I have used 240 MB, then weekly I have used 720 MB, and then for monthly I have used 2120 MB. So each time even I use a very small query, maybe just read two column with even two records, it will charge me 10 MB. So that's how it will charge, but depending on the size of the file, it can be more, so be careful about that. If I will be you, I always go to the storage, and in the storage I go to containers, and in containers I have my folders, and I take a look before I run a query on some big files. So here you can see the size of those files. So here they are very small. I even don't have even 1 MB files, so they are like 2-3 records in each of the file. Also you can in the Synapse you can go to the data here and go to the linked, and then you go to your Azure Data Lake, and then here is your container, and then in container you have folders right there. Click on one of the folder, and then you can see the size of the files as well here when you are going to query them. So it's a good practice, I will say, take a look on the size of your files before you run any query. Now another one is you can always come back and run this query to see how much you have used. That's both are helpful, but that doesn't tell like if you've been using a lot of data. So I think it's having the control is great, because sometime maybe you run this query and just leave for 10-20 good minutes, and you have selected the data from large size file, and that can cost you a lot. And maybe later in the day you come back again and do the same thing over and over. So it's a good idea to put some checks here. So go to management here, and you have this serverless SQL pool. Click on 3 dots here, and there is a cost controller, and now you can set the limit. So in this case, let's say it is mostly disabled, but you can go ahead and enable, and it is also showing you the same information that I just got with the system view. So today I used 240 MB, then I used 720, and then around 2 GB I use in this month. You can always enable, and the minimum amount available is 1 terabyte. So it's the daily limit is going to be 1 terabyte minimum, so you cannot go like 100 GB or something like that. So if I will say like 0.5 terabyte, I don't know, it's not letting me type that 0.5, so I if I do point, it is giving me so I see limit should be integer, so and it has to be 1 terabyte. And for 1 terabyte is $5, so that's not too costly. You can do weekly, maybe you want to say like weekly is 5, and then you want to say monthly 30 terabyte, so you can go ahead and set these limits. And if you're running this query, and meanwhile this limit is done, what's going to happen? Your query will run, that query will execute, but next query will not execute. So here is more detail. In case the limit exceed during the query execution, a query wouldn't be terminated, so that will complete. But when the limit is exceeded, the new query will be rejected with the error message which contains detail regarding the period. And here is the message you will be getting, like, hey, query is rejected because SQL serverless budget limit for the period is exceeded, and then a period and limit 1 and TB and all those kind of will show you right there. So I hope I honestly will always go ahead and set this limits, because sometime we have large size files and we want to just keep running the queries, and we totally ignore how much data we have processed. By having a limit, you would know like, hey, I have crossed my limit now, and I have accumulated this much cost to my company. So later on you can change, it's not a big deal if you want to change it, like, hey, if you exceed that, you will like, oh no, I know that I have exceeded from daily limit, but I want to change to now 2 terabyte. You can come back and change for some days, and then later come back and rechange to the small limit as well. So I thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.